Hey there! Today we're going to have a look at a brand that I've always kind of enjoyed. I think sometimes it's a bit underrated, but it is, of course, Diplomat from Germany. The Diplomat pens, I think, are quite nice. Been around since 1922, so they have a good history. And this is one of their Aeros. I have reviewed an Aero a long time ago. That was the brown one, I think. This is pretty much the same pen, but in a different finish. So this was sent to me by Appelboom, lent to me by Appelboom, I should say, just to be completely clear, which is always nice. And I think people wanted to really see this because a bunch of people asked me about this. So even though it's not a new pen, it is a new finish. I'm just opening the box. Have the white cardboard outer sleeve, and then you have this very interesting thing that the Diplomat does that I never really understood. It's interesting, but yeah. So this is metal, and this is cardboard, and it's sort of like a metal sleeve. I'm not trying to make fun of it. It's just I've never seen it before. So and they always do this. Very tough metal. And then you have the box. So what's in the box? There was the pen and a little sleeve, of course. And there is just this thing they always do, which you put in here, and you can sort of cover the pen with it. There is the little pen bed, which you can take out. There is it's not really a fleur-de-lis, but it's the logo they do. You can see there. Make sure it doesn't overexpose. Sorry, do the camera a second, but it's very interesting. Now there is a little information booklet, which has filling instructions and such. I mean, it's just kind of the usual stuff. And then there are two cartridges in there. It looks like they are blue. At least one of them is. Yeah, I think both of them are blue. And then there is a pen and a converter. So what about this pen? The Aero series is based on the Zeppelin, so that is what you get, and it's definitely Zeppelin shaped. You have these deep grooves on both the barrel and the cap, which is not bad, I would say. Fine, medium or broad nibs, typically steel, but you can upgrade to gold, 14 karat gold, and that's nice because this one has the 14K gold nib. And the previous one I reviewed had the steel nib, so now I can tell you my opinion on the steel nibs because I haven't used a whole lot of Diplomats, my opinion on the gold nibs because I haven't used a whole lot of Diplomat gold nibs. As I said, there's a bunch of finishes. They started out with brown and a sort of a cream color. There was also an orange, and now there is this. And the first thing I thought when I saw this was Captain Phasma because it's very shiny silver and black. But beyond nerdism, let's cover the parts of the pen and tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we'll do a writing sample. Top of the pen has that Diplomat logo again. Then we have the very shiny cap, as you can see, a black clip. These clips, this feels like the type of clip that I could bend out shape, so I'm going to be a little careful, but it does work well. No issue there. You have the barrel, tapers down very strongly, and then you have a little black end cap, which does not have the Diplomat logo on it. But it's a very interesting sort of probing look they went for, and I mean it works. It's definitely Zeppelin shaped. And then here on the, I guess, center band, it's not a separate band, but on the cap it says Diplomat, and I think no, that's not what it says. And then on the other side it says Germany. Okay, the cap pops off, and that's stiff action. I mean, there's a white inner cap in there, plastic inner cap. But it really snaps shut securely. You really have to pull pretty hard on this. So I'm guessing it gets a little looser as you own it for a while, but still. Very long section. The section alone is about 1 inch. So that's pretty big. And then here we have the nice two-tone 14 karat nib, which again has their logo on it. It says Diplomat since 1922 and 14K 585 and M for medium. Nice nib. Has I find the Diplomat nibs sometimes they're actually quite springy, the steel, and this has a little bit of spring to it too. It's absolutely not a flex nib. It should not be flexed. but it is not an ultra rigid nib for sure. Nice number 6 nib, so simple the nib and a simple plastic feed, but it works well. As I said, it comes with 2 cartridges. Those are standard international, and this is the converter that comes with it, which there's ink in it. Don't know if you can see it, but it does say Diplomat on there, which is also, of course, standard international, which is nice. I have found that Diplomat converters fit a lot of pens. Standard international, of course, but that's kind of nice. So if you have a pen, you don't have a converter for it, you don't know what to do, Diplomat often is a safe bet. Not always, but often. Okay, this is a pretty solid barrel, as you can see. So it definitely, once assembled, it weighs quite a bit, but it is anodized aluminum. So it's not super heavy, even though it's quite a thick metal barrel. It's not an ultra heavy pen. Okay, what do I like about the pen? What do I not like about the pen? I like this Zeppelin shape. I think it's cool. It's a nice design. It looks a bit futuristic. The deep grooves are nice. It catches the the light quite nicely, and I found it to be a pretty comfortable pen to hold. It's not super long, as you can see, but I think that's nice. The long section is comfortable, even though it is rather thin. I mean, it really tapers down and then flares out a little bit. So it is also metal, as far as I can tell. It definitely feels like metal. It's very long, but I did find it comfortable. This was the medium gold nib, but it wrote very well out of the box. I have had no issues with it. It's really quite pleasant and smooth. So definitely a nice nib, and I'm pleased to try out another one of their gold nibs, because the quality, as far as I can tell, is pretty good. Well, that's nice. What do I not like about it? Well, the section is metal on a metal barrel, and what I found is that it unscrews rather easily, and it makes a horrid noise when it does so, which means that sometimes you think, oh, that's a pen that unscrews. The cap unscrews, but then you're actually just disassembling the pen. Now, there is a way around that, which is surprisingly simple. Just really tighten it. So make sure you have that motion really tight, and then this is not really an issue anymore, because now the cap just rotates and the pen does not unscrew. So that's just something you need to do. Is that really a negative? Not really, but I sat down and I thought, wow, that really unscrews way too easily. So it's a bit of a matter of, you really have to kind of figure that out. So once you know it's fine, it's a bit of an issue. I had the same thing with posting. I thought, well, it's not that long. I kind of want to post this carefully because I don't want to destroy the finish. But you know, it's pretty loose. But if you actually exert a bit of pressure, and sometimes the quarter turn works as you post, it is secure. So it does actually post, and then you have a beautifully sized pen. Little top heavy, but as I said, because it's aluminum and fairly light metal, it's actually doable. So that's not that bad. It's just a matter of, in both cases, you need some pressure, and especially with the pressure on the posting, I don't know how scratch resistant this finish is. So it's possible you will get a ring there if you do post it, but of course, that's your choice. The final thing I wanted to say was, these pens are not, I don't find them very cheap. It's 120 euros for a steel nib, and 220 euros for a gold nib. So, I mean, that's the upgrade. 220 euros for a gold nib in itself I don't think is terrible, but for what you get, it's a steel pen, cartridge converter with a 14K nib, which is nice, but 120 to 220 for just the gold nib upgrade is, I think, fairly steep. Not necessarily not conform the market, because a lot of companies charge you $150, $160, $170 to upgrade to gold. That's just the way it is, but I do find it a little pricey for what it is. Then again, when you do decide to pay it, if you do decide to pay it, it writes well. It's a smooth nib that performed well out of the box. So in that regard, at least you get something that just writes straight away. And there you have it. So, Joost, thanks a lot for lending me the pen. I appreciate it. I hope this was useful so far. Measurements of the pen, as well as high-resolution pictures, will be on the website, sbrebrown.com. We need to see the pen in action. Writing sample is coming up next. I hope this was useful so far, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Diplomat Aero in the factory finish. The nib is a medium 14K and the ink is Momiji by Iro Shizuku. Bit of writing. I find this a very pleasant nib. There is definitely some feedback as you write, but I find that the pleasant type of feedback, not scratchy. Fast writing. No real skipping that I can see, so pretty well adjusted nib, I would say. As to wetness, not a gusher, but it's not super dry. Very careful. Line variation, not a whole lot. So don't think just because it's 14 karat you'll get that springiness. Reverse writing. It's possible that turns your medium nib into, I would probably say, extra fine, and you see it gets harder to read. That may be easier with a darker ink, but still, if it really necessary, it is possible, and it doesn't get super scratchy. Okay, so there you have it, Joost. Thanks for lending me the pen. I appreciate it. I hope this was useful, and I'll gladly see you later. Bye bye.
Bye.